Hey YouTube, what's going on, and welcome back to Cairo and his things. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Armytek Zippy versus the Wuben G2.
Hey all, only 3% of my viewers are subscribers. As a small channel, if you'd consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
I just got this Armytek Zippy in, and it was released a few years ago. It's brand new to me. But instead of doing an unboxing review, I figured it'd be kind of cool to do a comparison video between this and another keychain flashlight, which is the Wuben G2. So we're going to kind of break these down a little bit and see which one might work better for you and just get my overall thoughts on these. So first of all, on this Armytek, you do have like this kind of transparent or whatever the word is here where you can kind of see through everything. That's pretty cool. On the Wuben, we just have a solid color design, but on the Armytek, it's just like a plastic. I mean, it feels like a decent plastic. Like, I feel like I could drop it and it would be just fine. It doesn't feel fragile or anything. But on the Wuben, I think that's like aluminum, but it feels like it's a little bit higher durability. Feels a little bit nicer, you know. But you'll see on the Armytek here that we've got a rubber button right in the middle of the light, which is definitely different. But on the Wuben, we've got a button that sits on the top of the light, which is also a little bit strange. So, and I'll show you guys why. So on the Armytek, when you go to use the button, it's going to light up right there on these emitters just above the button. So you're going to end up holding the light like so. Now I can switch through my light output modes. I can do everything I need to do from this angle, and it's just fine. It's just a little bit different, but I get a full grip on it, mainly because I can put my thumb and my first finger on opposite sides of the light and get a nice tight grip using this button. On the Wuben though, this is something that I dislike about it. Because the button's on the top, that means I just kind of have to use my fingers here on the side and try to hit the button from the top. And so I feel like I never have a good grip on this light, and it's just always wanting to slip out of my fingers. I don't really like using this. It's hard to just like get it into a good grip. That said, the button is plastic and sits completely flush, so that already makes it a little bit more difficult to get to the button anyways. On the Armytek, it's this rubber button and it actually protrudes out a little bit, so it's just really easy. Like, even if you just run your finger across the light in the dark or whatever, you're going to quickly find that button and be able to get to it. So I like the button and the ergonomics better on the Armytek than I do this Wuben. We'll just go ahead and take a look at the clips real quick, which both of these can be easily removed. So you don't have to run the clips because, I mean, this is keychain flashlight, so you could just stick it on your keychain. But on the Armytek, we've got a much smaller clip. On the Wuben, we have this large clip that takes up the majority of the back of the flashlight. On the Wuben, it is plastic, and it feels like if you take it a little bit too far, like it's just going to snap. It doesn't feel like the best plastic. On the Armytek, it is metal, I'm guessing stainless, but again, I still even feel like if I really tried to, like, I could snap that without too much of an issue. Neither clip is great, but again, these are both keychain flashlights, so I'm not expecting them to come with great clips. Both of them work. This one's going to sit a little bit more secure with the Wuben, but I personally like the Armytek clip just slightly more. I'm not a big fan of this big plastic clip. If you're looking to run it on your keychain though, so on the Wuben it comes with just a standard keychain ring. On the Armytek it comes with this metal ring, but you'll see it's a lot thicker than a standard keychain ring. So this is going to be a lot more durable and nice on the Armytek than that ring on the keychain, but either way you can run these both on your key ring. For the Armytek, this does have USB recharging. However, it's micro USB, or otherwise known as USB-B. Nobody really uses that anymore, so that's definitely outdated on the USB charging on there. I get that a few years ago when this came out, it was still somewhat relative. But yeah, that's a bit outdated. I'd much prefer a USB-C recharging, but I'll take it. I mean, USB recharging on a keychain flashlight is always nice. Now on the Wuben, we have it right on the top here, which is USB-C. So that's of course nice to see, and when you close the flap, it just kind of falls back into place perfectly, so that's kind of nice. So if it does accidentally get pulled up, it's just going to go right back to where it needs to be. Both of these flashlights come with magnets, which is pretty nice on a keychain flashlight. So let's take a look at how they work. On the Wuben, you have to rotate the bottom, and when that comes off, then you have your exposed magnet here. So that means to use this magnet, you're going to have this separate piece here that you're going to have to put in your pocket or whatever so you don't lose it, and then put it back on. On the Armytek, the magnet is actually not on the flashlight itself, but it comes with a magnet. So it comes with this right here, and so this is the little piece that connects in to this right here. There we go. So what this does is it allows it to rotate so that you can turn this light on and you can use it in any direction that you want, and that's got a magnet on that side as well. The obvious downside to that is that if you want to use this as a magnet and you've got this flashlight with you and you're out and about, that means you now need to keep this with you and basically have an extra piece that you carry around. So either way, I'd say neither of these magnets are the most convenient, but then at the same time, I'd say it's still nice that they have them on keychain lights. So when we look at this, the Wuben sits pretty well. No problems there. Now let's get this Armytek back on. All right. And so here you can see kind of how it works. So with the Wuben, you're kind of gonna need to be off of the right angle to make it work. Whereas with the Armytek, you can just, no matter what angle you're at, you could just rotate this. Whoops. You could just rotate this to be wherever you want. So this is pretty nice to have, but again, it is a little bit inconvenient needing a separate piece. It does have a clip on it here though, so you could technically just clip it to your pocket if you wanted to. The Armytek also comes with this band here, so you're getting quite a bit for the money because it comes with all this extra stuff. But it comes with a band that you can put this on, and then you actually have a head mount that you can use, and now you're rotating it however you want off of this head mount. So that's pretty cool that it comes with that as well. For the user interface for the Armytek, it's going to be, you click to turn it on, hold to rotate through your different brightness modes, low, medium, high, and your strobe. Double click for switching from white light to red light, and then again hold to switch low, medium, high, blinking. Double click to go back to white light. That simple. On the Wuben, what you're going to have to do is hold to turn on, and then you think, oh, well, I would click through then if it's hold to turn on. No, it's actually hold to turn on, let go of the button, and then hold again to rotate through modes, and then click to turn off. So that's kind of weird. Just clicking does nothing. I will say though, on the Wuben, you do get a battery indicator, which to my knowledge is not on the Armytek, at least not that I'm seeing. And now onto the emitter and performance. So on the Armytek, all we are working with here is just simply an exposed white light emitter and exposed red light emitter. Meaning that when you turn this on, you're not really going to get a hot spot. You're actually not getting a whole lot going on. You're going to get about a high of just over 100 lumens, which isn't bad for a keychain flashlight. Kind of an ugly design here that's going on because it's just showing, it's kind of boxed in, the emitter is, so that's what you're seeing there. But overall it does the job, and if you're actually out and about and this is all you've got on you, it'll work. But it's not going to actually give you like a real hotspot or anything, because it's just exposed emitters there. I mean, again, it's just a keychain flashlight. Now on the Wuben though, this thing is pretty impressive. So you can actually double click for turbo. I forgot to mention that. You could see this actually has a hotspot because it's not just an exposed emitter there. Let's turn that back on. And you'll see how significantly brighter that is. It's claiming 500 lumens. I don't know if it's quite that bright, but I would say it's definitely close. So really where the Wuben shines is having a pretty insane output and just hotspot for being in a keychain flashlight. Whereas Armytek is more so what you'd expect out of a little keychain flashlight. Just basic light, but it also comes with the red light. For me, the Armytek's light works just fine. I like having a red light, but for you, maybe you don't carry around a flashlight everywhere you go, and it's nice to have something more high powered on your key ring, or you could technically wear this on your pocket with this clip. So if that's the way that you'd prefer, go ahead. I don't know that I can necessarily highly recommend one over the other based on this comparison. I'd say they kind of trade off. My personal preference of what I'm seeing is I think I like the Armytek a little bit better, mainly because I just don't like the ergonomics on the Wuben of trying to hold it like this. This is very uncomfortable for me. I prefer this much more. But either way, I think both are some good options, and I just thought it'd be interesting to see these one against another. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great week.